government that initiated it for accountability and transparency. That's what they said.
Okay.
And that it will help them to have cash at all times instead of maybe borrowing, doing emergency borrowing when you have money stashed in several accounts. That's what they said.
Okay.
The benefit would have been transparency. At any point in time, you will know how much government has through the TSA. And then instead of hundreds and thousands of pieces of accounts in various banks. That's what they said. But whether it is proper or not, government must have suffered a lot of things before arriving at the TSA as a way out. It is government that allowed ministers and government agencies to have accounts in many places. Sometimes a ministry alone, a ministry may have over 20 accounts. A ministry, one government agency may have over 20. Some even have plenty money in microfinance banks. So if a CEO, they think it's an average. So that's why they now say, come back to that policy. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Mr. Chukwu, with your choice of words, you were very careful to say they said, they claimed, the benefit would have been. And by expressing yourself like that, it seems the benefits did not achieve, the TSA did not yet achieve the expected benefits. Would it be safe to suggest that?
I think TSA faced more of sabotage, more of a dereliction, more of a... In fact, most ministries observe it mostly in breach. And that's why we are in 55. The direct, I don't know whether Chukwu is part or what. The last statement he made was that billions upon billions of federal government money are circulating outside the CBN. That was the last statement he made, and that they were going to bring them back. Maybe he made that statement on October 8th. By 12, he was flown out, half dead. So, I'm not saying anything, I'm not alluding to anything. That was the last public statement he made. He came back on October 12th, and they had gone back to that, to say government money must return to TSA. Anywhere, those involved in policy analysis, financial policy analysis, and business reporting, you will agree that money, your job is to follow the money.
Yeah. And
in following the money, wherever there is big money in this world, anywhere there is big money, there is big corruption, there is big trouble, there is big conspiracy, big money, big wahala. So, if federal government's billions upon billions are hidden somewhere, why are they hiding? If there's no ugly intention, why will we be hiding money in various accounts? So that when people's eyes, when some directors can no longer know where the money is, anything can happen to it. So the federal government says, okay, we want to return to 2015, even though this is 2025. Which means the federal government, by saying plenty of their money is outside, they are saying that TSA as a policy may have been good, but that it was not fully implemented. And gradually, the policy that Nigeria has a tendency of, when the man that brought a policy goes, everybody will abandon it, as if the policy was meant for a person, instead of it to be an institutional tool for control of the people. No, they will say, the man who brought TSA has gone. TSA, they will start banking where they like. So if you ask me whether TSA worked, it was not allowed to work. That's the bottom line of my answer. It was not allowed to work.
Yeah, but with a policy, particularly when it comes from the top, you would expect a certain level of enforcement. If this is 10-year-old, which is quite a long time to rate either success or failure, why did the government not follow through on enforcement? Why did they not have the will to ensure that those who flouted the directive faced the consequence that was waiting?
Yeah. First of all, government agencies, they first of all created bureaucracy around it. Why? You deposit money into the TSA account in the central bank to cash it out. They deliberately created bottleneck. They made sure that activities will not work well. That everybody will, there will be an upheaval, there will be an uproar, there will be general condemnation of TSA. TSA has killed also. TSA has killed also. So gradually, everybody began to resort to accounts in commercial banks. But the rule of TSA said that they are commercial banks. The accounts in commercial banks are not totally illegal. What they are saying is they are to operate on daily basis. What does it mean? Close of work is 5 p.m. If people are paying revenue, they will not be paying into the government, the central bank account. Or even if they pay, it will be big money. What they mean is if you are paying to sanitation agency, you are paying to any agency or government, you are supposed to pay into their account in a particular bank. But before 5 p.m., they transfer all. The account is to read zero at the end of working day, every day. You are not supposed to carry over 1 naira or 1 kobo from today to tomorrow. So from 8 a.m. to 4:30, you can collect money. Then by the time you have balanced the account, so the total collection for today is 350,500,000. You now transfer to TSA account. Tomorrow you start again. But to us Nigerians, it may be that instead of daily transfer, they begin to make it 2 days, from there 1 week, from there 1 month, from there they forgot about TSA. Thank you.
Well, sir, even as a Nigerian who might not have the intent of corruption, I naturally would see problems why doing that daily might not work. Of course, you and I have very likely encountered network problem while trying to do a transfer or something that was genuinely an obstacle, right, to just having a smooth workflow. So, with the very obvious, pertinent and pressing Nigerian issues we have, I'm certain that there are directors, MDs, CEOs who may have encountered genuine challenges. I mean, if I'm appointed to be a director of something today, I might also genuinely see the need to open a commercial bank account just for the ease of, transaction. So, of course, you have partially touched on it, but is it possible that, there were legitimate reasons why a ministry, a department, or an agency might have needed to open a commercial bank account just so that, they are not stalled or hindered when they want to make a payment, withdraw, some transaction?
No, they're not supposed to withdraw.
Sorry.
Only in.
Okay.
The commercial bank account they're supposed to have is a holding account.
Okay.
So even if your operational balances are not correct, that's to say, if you collected 100 million today, by end of today, you transfer to central bank. When you are now applying for withdrawal, you say, we need 50 million for XYZ. There was overpayment of 2 million, so we totally request for 52 million. You are not supposed to be paying in and paying out at the paying out from that account. It will amount to corruption. That is why they say there were bureaucratic bottlenecks. This thing you have mentioned now must be one of the bottlenecks that they encountered. Things like overpayment, things like reconciliation. So if there is a need for reconciliation, maybe a licensing office, insurance, rates and levies they are collecting. Remember, TSA is supposed to be federal, state, and local government, which means a local government department can be collecting money, collecting revenue, or collecting license, or collecting marriage registry fee from people. At the end of the day, you are supposed to transfer it to the TSA. So if there was overpayment, the moment you begin to withdraw some money out of it, you have flouted because all monies are supposed to go to CBN. But whatever the case, that one is the language. What is important is that At the end of the day, the account you opened in a commercial bank must read zero. Must. So if there are technical issues why you could not transfer it, I think that the bureaucracy can say, okay, we'll forgive you that instead of transferring on by Monday 5 p.m., you transfer it by 8 a.m. the following day.
But you must transfer.
So maybe bureaucracy can forgive. But what the law says is that any such commercial bank account you have for purpose of convenience, that it must read zero at the end of the day. Now you're talking about enforcement and compliance. Okay. I am not the one complaining. Financial experts or analysts are not the ones complaining. It is the minister that declared us on behalf of the federal government. First of all, in 2015, it is the federal government that said we are smelling big rats in the uncountable number of accounts that the government agencies have. They are the ones saying so. I didn't say so. Now, they introduced that policy by 2015. By 2025, I am not the one complaining. It's the Minister of Finance that is saying billions upon billions upon billions of federal government money are circulating outside the CBN. There is something else they said which may shock Nigerians. The minister said until August 2025 that even the federal government could not did not have a tracking mechanism. They could not track their own money in the CBN. Can you imagine? You are saying, going from commercial to the province, until August 1, they were able to install tools and to press button once. And I speak with you, we have 100 billion naira right now in the CBN. Not minding which agency is the owner. From Mdas, where they pay money every time. From Nasima, from the master where they pay in dollars. They're supposed to pay it directly they're supposed to be transferred every day to the CBN. But what they will do is when they transfer, put it there. When you apply for your money, they will use bureaucracy to stiffen it. So when operations crumble, then the minister can beg somebody. They will say, okay, you can be keeping small money. You can from small money, it becomes big money. So we are saying federal government is the one saying that they could not track and view. They couldn't have a proper view of what the federal government money in the CBN account. Then they're not saying the MDAs have not been remitting the money daily to the CBN. So you can see financial recklessness, financial indiscipline, lack of transparency every day. Yet the president went to the world to say corruption has died. This thing that the minister has said shows that the president was not seeing corruption. So he now announced that corruption has vanished in his government. Not knowing that his minister is not saying we can't see our money, we're not seeing it well. Which means there was a deliberate coverage of corruption. That the most important eye in the country, being the eye of the president, will not see corruption. And he went and told the world that there's no corruption. But now they say big amounts are circulating outside the view of the man who did not see corruption.
Well, Mr. Chukwu, we have to take a break, and far be it from me to support anybody, but this one time I actually don't blame the president, right? I don't know what you don't know. You cannot. If you don't know, you can't speak about what you don't know. So he did not know. let's just put it like that. After the break, we talk solutions. Please stay with us.
Okay.
earlier order to operate solely under the TSA, that's the Treasury Single Account. My guest is Mr. Ignatius Chukwu, regional editor of BusinessDay newspaper and a financial policy expert. You're welcome once again, sir.
Thank you very much.
So, would it be safe to say that from the beginning of the introduction of the TSA policy, the government is to blame for possibly not providing the right framework for its operation?
Yeah, there have been complaints of bureaucratic bottlenecks. Now, this bottleneck, where is it created? Where does it operate? It's created within the civil service structure. Now, political leadership says, go and have all the accounts like this. It's not left for the various layers of the bureaucracy to bring likely hindrances and issues that could affect it. Then the Federal Executive Council will look into that. What could be the problems? What could be the solution? That is what we know as the policy engineering. Policy engineering is where, before the policy is announced, likely hindrances, likely breaches have been foreseen, and solutions prepared, and then they are implemented. And in the past 10 years, if the intention of the bureaucracy was to make it work, there would have been, if there were 10 hitches in 2015, we'll be recording 0 hitch now, because they would have been solving them and they would have been trashing them. But for us to get to 2025, and we are saying 10 years after, we are back to 2015, almost all the money is circulating outside. What it means is that it was not being obeyed on voluntary basis. Any agency or any minister that feels that he is strict, he will say, I will go by TSA. The another minister may not choose that. He will choose by commercial bank system, and nobody cares. So I think that there has been no deliberate effort to track the various hindrances, the various bottlenecks. And what is the bottleneck? When we pay money into the CBN account, when they approve money out, number one, the process of approving money out is a process that has to be your budget. Budgets have been approved. What is in the budget? If you need a portion of it, you apply. You bring the section of the budget that empowers it when approved. You back it up with your request. You put in. Then somebody's job is to sign it that same day. The next day you table it at the CBN. CBN now releases that money back now to your own local bank account, operational account. But you see, the broadcast that we're talking about was that your money goes in. You will ask for this money until the services you are supposed to render with the money will go extinct. The people will suffer, the ministry, the agency will suffer. If it's a vehicle, the vehicle will remain unrepaired and the workers will no longer go for field work. Then if you ask, they say, now TSM they cut them. TSM did not cost anything. Human beings ensure that TSM will not work. So where we are now is, if there have been breaches, I don't want to hear that directors have been told to submit balances of the commercial accounts. What we want to hear is that when they submit them, let corporates, let those that fail to obey TSA, let us hear how many directors of finance and administration, how many have been demoted, how many have been retired, how many have been sanctioned in one way or the other. So that other people will know that once there is a standing federal government directive, until another directive comes to counter it, you must obey it. If you can't obey it, you resign to say the rule is too much for me, I can't work there. You don't go there and bend that rule until we are now calling them to give us statement of account. Then the statement account also carry sanctions for those who allow money to remain in the commercial banks for more than the stipulated period, which is one working day.
Okay. Now, sir, do you think there is a share of blame or responsibility on the part of the commercial banks? Do they at least have a role to play? Because if they come to the bank to open accounts for Ministry A, and monies are going into that account, then in 6 months, they come to that same bank to open accounts for the same Ministry A, maybe Ministry A too. And the bank continues to see that there are many accounts opened for this same department, ministry, or agency. Does the bank not have a responsibility to maybe flag it, to alert the EFCC, or to just do something or say something? Are they supposed to just allow? Well, I know it's business, and asking the question, I already feel like I know the answer. But but isn't there something? Isn't there a role of the bank to at least do something or say something?
Well, if you ask me, there is tacit support by commercial banks. There is this craze for giving targets to marketers, target to marketers. When those people are giving target and are looking at target, I don't think they remember any law. By the way, the law is on the ministers, MDAs. It's not on the bank. It is the bank is there. Somebody came to open. So it's like I know wives attack their husbands for going to prostitutes. They don't go and quarrel prostitutes. Why did I allow my husband to come and enter your room? So it is your husband you will deal with, reporting to pastor, reporting to his parents, make trouble to him, so that he will stop going. If you don't stop him and he arrives at the protest, the woman will open door. So that is the banks. I know there is no specific law I know that says when they come to open accounts, don't agree. Because even the bank, if an agency has account with you, and maybe that account has 2 million, and one of your marketers go and market there, and the new DFA or the new commissioner or the new minister now comes to open account of 20 million, they will like it, because that is account to be, I can see, I can do in one bank before you now talk about other banks. So it is their business, they are there for business. You come and open accounts.
Yeah,
but
true.
The person to be punished will be the person who saw previous accounts and went to open new accounts.
Okay, so finally, sir, because we have to talk solutions, how should the government handle this to have a better working system?
To me, only two things. Number one, why do MDS dodge TSA? Find out that what it is. They have been crying out that when to bring money out, any system that is good in taking and is not easy to go in, it should be easy to come out. A major principle of philosophy of crime prevention in industrial security says, make it easy for whoever has the legitimate right to enter a commercial entity to enter. Let entry be easy for whoever is legitimately qualified, and make it difficult for whoever is not legitimately required to enter there. Therefore, any money that is supposed to come out of the CBN, there should be deadline that upon request of that money with the valid the stamping and the endorsement. If the CBN does not release it within that period, there should be sanction on the particular officer in the CBN. So they will know that when there is a proper request and verification that this money is supposed to go to sanitation office, it must be released within so hour. Or somebody, it is the lack of punishment and sanction in the public service that makes everybody to do anything and get away with it. That's one. Two, any minister that anywhere there is money left in any commercial, any holding account beyond 5 p.m. or beyond that day's working day, and the DFA should be sanctioned. Suspension, demotion, transfer, demotion, and retirement. If your retirement is 5 years to come, they can retire you now. So the civil servants hate sanction, they hate punishment. The moment they are sure that this thing will attract punishment, they will obey. They can obey if they wanted to. It is when people do it, nothing happens to them. Then the new director of finance will also do it. So one, sanctions should be going, and then make it easy for one that goes into central bank to also come out as soon as it is approved by the approving authority. These are the two things I know.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chukwu. Doing this with you is always a pleasure. We appreciate it. Have
Thank you
yourself
very much.
a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you, my dear.
All right. Well, I promised we were going to talk about money, and that we did. What's your take on this? Guest, that it is this bureaucracy that encourages the corruption. Because let's face it, whether you have a tendency to corruption or not, if you find it difficult to do something, you will find an easier way. And most times, that easier way is a channel to easily channel the money into private pockets. But share your thoughts on this. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 06 We're live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. And an even bigger concern is that a 10-year policy somehow is desperately failing. In all of this time, if it was introduced in 2015, the country has failed to find a way that works. It is disturbing, unsettling, problematic, and even worse, and this is where I come with the pessimism, I find that we may not be able to find the solution soon because somehow we always lack the will. Hello, good evening.
Evening, yes.
Evening, what's your name?
It's Ken. Calling from me.
Go ahead, Ezekiel.
The federal government talking about having single accounts. Am I correct?
That's right, Treasury single account.
Mr. Esos, how many have Nigerian government has been adopted concerning financial issues in this our country? Not until we start hearing about BVN, NIN, national security, whatever. Yet,
Hello? Oh my. Well, the network has decided